Denny Blanco, Randy Cruz. It's in the game podcast. We're doing this live directly following the Lakers and the Pelicans playoff game. The Lakers defeat the Pelicans and will take on the defending champion Denver Nuggets in the first round. My man Zion put up a nice 40 ball. He got hurt late in the game. I felt New Orleans was good on the path of winning that game until Zion got hurt. But lo and behold, we're going to get a rematch of last year's Western Conference Finals in the first round with Denver and the Lakers. Denny Blanco, at Sir Denny Blanco, talk to me. Your thoughts about this Lakers-Pelicans matchup. And now officially we get Denver and the Lakers in round one. Also, Pelicans now have to wait for the winner of the Sacramento and the Warriors game to determine the number 8 spot. So we got that right now on TNT, but go ahead.
I thought the Pelicans had an opportunity right in their hands to steal an actual game. Zion Williamson was going completely off.
Bro, I couldn't wait. I wanted them to win so bad because I know we've had plenty of convos about Zion. You telling me his weight, the injuries, being consistent, and I'm like, yo, he's going crazy right now. I hope Denny's watching this because if they pull this victory out, I got no choice but to just throw in his face. And even though he got hurt, 40 and 11 is nothing to sneeze at.
And that's my point.
Oh, man, here we go.
40 and 11. We're about to take over the game. The last 6 minutes, all I see LeBron with big eyes because he has to defend Zion the rest of the game. There's no one else but LeBron. And I see it in his eyes. I said, LeBron don't want this. LeBron don't want this. And all of a sudden, Zion pulls up, and I'm like, uh-oh. Shout out to B.I., 4 for 12. I mean,
we didn't see much of him in the fourth, so yeah.
Shout out to Bi. Sir, 25 minutes. You gave us 11. Really? Really? I mean, CJ gave you all he could, but he's at this point we shouldn't be relying on him. We should be relying on Bi some more. It was an opportunity slipped through their hands. You have LeBron almost a triple-double once again. D. Russell doing his thing. Austin did his thing. Anthony Davis, 15 rebounds, 20 points. So shot 6 for 16, though. So that's why I said there was an opportunity to be had. But neither here nor there. The LA Lakers, welcome to the party.
Welcome to the official NBA playoffs.
Listen, welcome to the Joker party. I think you've seen the Joker party for the past, just recently, Joker MVP party. Let me just be more specific, if you will. The Joker MVP party, you've seen this the past 3 years, baby. Ain't nothing changed.
No.
Anthony Davis is in a whole lot of trouble the next 4 games. What are they going to do? I don't know what the Lakers are going to do strategically.
I don't know.
I would imagine. Wow.
So you're LA, you're Darvin Ham. You got this matchup with the Nuggets and Joker is the key to everything. How do you play this? How do you play this out with Ant Davis?
No, I'm trying to look at the Denver Nuggets lineup. I just want to reconfirm what I think I'm possibly going to do and just be like, you know what? I'm going down with the ship. All right, I may have to put LeBron on Joker.
Whoa!
And bring AD over as the rover. At least AD's long enough to feel what I'm saying. When you have Joker in the post, he's going to try and do his thing, drop down, etc. Now, if he kicks out to the 3-point shot, all right, we'll live with that.
Yeah.
This is the one strategy. I have 2 strategies. This is the first one, okay? Now, first one, LeBron's defending Joker. If he kicks out to the wings, we're good. If he tries the lob, with Aaron Gordon,
Mm-hmm.
we have AD with his length to possibly bother it. But that's
Right.
one strategy. The second strategy is keep LeBron on him, let everyone else score. Do not double.
Mm-hmm.
Do not double. Did I say that right?
Mm-hmm.
Do not double. Let everyone else score. Let LeBron just defend Joker straight up. The only reason why I'm putting LeBron on Joker is because I want AD longer through the game. I don't want AD to pick up foul trouble. That's
Right.
the only reason I'm doing that. Other
Mm.
than that, I don't see. Do I even see the Lakers winning a game? Let me think about it. Let me think.
Well, listen. While you think about it, I'm gonna get on Robin Lundberg. I see him in the queue. A great supporter of the show. We always get him on during the playoffs. So, give me 1 second. Let me get him on.
I'm with the Robin
There we go.
Lumberg.
There we go. There we go. There we go. All right, Robin Lundberg. I know you've been watching the queue for quite some time. First of all, thank you, man. We definitely appreciate you coming on this 10 o'clock hour. So I never had you on this late. So, but thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm mad tired right now. No. I had jury duty earlier today. It's been a long day.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Okay.
I don't miss those. I don't miss those.
I was once on a 3-month murder trial in Manhattan. So luckily I was not selected for that today.
Then he would talk about obviously the Lakers are going on to get Denver in round one. They took down the Pelicans, even though Zion had a nice 40 ball. He got hurt. So now we got the official match of LeBron, Nuggets, AD, Jokic, a rematch of last year's conference finals. How do you see this? How do you see this one playing out?
You know, the problem for the Lakers has been closing games against the Nuggets. And when they get tight in these games, we have history is our best predictor of the future, right? Like that's a saying for a reason. So I'm going to go off of that. And here's the thing with the Nuggets that I think is so tough come playoff time. There's not really an acceptable way to say how you guard them down the stretch because you can't really guard the Jokic and Murray two-man game. Jokic is too big. He gets to where he wants on the floor. He's too skilled. His touch is too good as a big man. He's got Gordon cutting from that dunker spot. He can always lob it up to him. And then Murray is the guy who can operate in the tight spaces, in the smaller windows, and create shots where they're not there. And between those two, there's just not much you can do. You know, I heard you guys talking about it. I think LeBron is actually better equipped than AD to go on Joker. You know, AD usually gets eaten alive by him. As good a defender as AD is, he's not very thick. You know, so Jokic can just kind of push him around. He can't do that with LeBron. He can't really push him around. But at the same time, that's asking a lot because then you're saying, okay, LeBron, guard Jokic and orchestrate our offense at 40 years old, 21 seasons in.
Exactly.
It's tough. The Lakers are not a bad team. You know, Austin Reeves is a pretty good player. He's another scorer. D'Angelo Russell has played better. You know, they've got a little bit of a squad. They've got some players. It's just unfortunate for them, the matchup they're seeing. I think they would have rather have seen OKC or something, and that's no disrespect to the Thunder, who are a very good team. Just don't want to walk into Denver. They got the best home court advantage just because of the, you know, elevation.
Yeah.
And they've shown in head-to-head games against the Lakers in recent history, they're going to close them out. So I'll take the Nuggets in, you know, one of those really good 5-game series where every game is kind of good. The Lakers get one the night that LeBron goes for 45 or whatever, and otherwise, I'm gonna have to take Denver.
Well, last year it was a sweep, so now we're giving LA one game this time.
Yeah, again, last year though too, a lot of those games were competitive until the end.
You're right.
Denver
True,
pulled it out. Like, so you see sweeping, you just think they got like smacked across the mouth. when they got beat in 4 straight games, but they were competitive, tight games.
Yes.
Until Denver pulled away late. So I think this year the Lakers get one of those, but I still got to lean Denver.
Danny Blanco, talk to him.
Well, yeah, the Lakers are going to have to go down with the ship with that strategy. I think you put Hachimura on Jamal Murray, put some length on him, and make him fight through that pick and roll with, you mentioned, Joker. And then I mentioned LeBron on Joker at this point. So that switch nullifies. Even you go back and forth with that. Put AD as a rover. Put Reeves maybe on Michael Porter Jr. Put D'Lo on KCP. That's pretty much how you have to strategize and go down with the chip. No doubling. Let Joker score 75.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the only way you have an actual hope to win one game. Other than that, Robin, I don't think they get. Yeah. Other than that, that's pretty much what they've won in Denver. Do you actually see Denver losing more than 2 games on this road to the final?
More than 2 games? Yeah, I think they'll lose more than 2 games.
Yeah.
Through the Western Conference. Yeah.
Because if they beat LA, they got to get Minnesota or Phoenix next.
Yeah.
Come on, Danny. Come on. They're gonna lose more than 2 games.
Why don't I like Minnesota and Suns? I just don't like these guys. I don't know.
Yeah, but they could beat Denver, bro. They could beat Denver 1 to twice. Come on now.
I mean, Phoenix even beat them last year, right? Like twice.
Yeah.
I want to say it was a 6-game series.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's this Minnesota team. I don't know. This new Minnesota team in the playoffs, and then the Phoenix Suns team is question mark. You have Booker, who at the same time we know what he's going to bring. I don't even know if Bradley's going to be available. Clearly you have Kevin Durant there, so chemistry during the playoffs. First time that group's going to be together. I'm not sold on how many games they're possibly going to win. But, this is the NBA. Things can happen. But that's why I'm just thinking in my head, I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. Denver, once, obviously, let's say they go through the Lakers. Next up, we're looking at these teams, and I'm like, what do you think, Robin?
You're Moses Malone in these dudes is faux. I
mean, man, you, and that's the thing. I'm looking at Joker, and I'm just looking at the domination and the third MVP. Shout out to Randy J. Cruz, who wants it to be SGA.
I think it should be Shea.
He has a great point. I believe so too. But I look at the domination, and you mentioned the actual picking of your poison, the pick and roll with Murray, or the Lob City with Aaron Gordon. I'm just like, it's one thing to have one strategy to solve during the game. But to have 2 at the same time working together, I don't see a good solution for this Denver team if they don't break up in the next couple of years. It could be dynasty. I don't know. Am I going too crazy, Randy?
No, I think you're spot on. I think Denver's going to be at the top of the West for the next couple of years. Watch out for your OKCs. Watch out for your Minnesota T-Wolves. Denver can only be up top for so long, but I think this run with Joker being, you never know, he might become a three-time MVP in the last 4 years. I don't see it that way. I'm going with Shea Gilgeous. I don't know how Robin feels, but matter of fact, Robin, who you have for MVP? Shea, Jokic, somebody else?
Jason Tatum.
That's a good case.
Luka?
He doesn't have a good case?
Luka has a very strong case. I don't even want to pull up his numbers, Robin. See, I know what you're doing. See, I know what you're doing. See his face.
He's doing you. He's doing you. When I talk to you, I see your eyes go this way. You're looking at.
He's pulling up the numbers, and we give him time.
Luka went from 34, 9, and 10 on the season.
34, 9, and 10. Those are season averages. Those are telephone numbers, right? Those are season averages.
34, 9, and 10 is crazy, bro. Come on, man. Come on, bro.
And he may not win MVP.
He's going to win it this year. He's never going to win it.
I mean, because now you give MVP based on the numbers or how good your team.
I mean, you give MVP based on a myriad of factors, right? It's
true.
Statistical performance, it's team performance, it's individual performance. It's
correct.
Ultimately, to me, I tend to try to go by the stated name of the award. Which player has the most inherent value. It's why I pick LeBron basically every year during LeBron's prime, because I knew if you took LeBron from said team, they would fall. So I'm not going to be mad if Jokic wins it again, because I think you could easily make the argument for Jokic using that metric, right? Or that's not a metric, but using that logic.
Yeah.
That you remove Jokic from the Nuggets and they're not the Nuggets anymore. But I think the same would go for the Mavericks. Really, all these guys. It's one of those years where I don't think you've seen such a heated debate because all those guys have a really good, like, if it's Shea, I'm all right, it's Shea. If it's Luka, it's like, all right, it's Luka. And if it's Jokic, it's like, all right, it's Jokic. The only reason people are mad at Jokic is that he's already won it a bunch, but we're now like starting to realize he is a generational type player. So that's what happens with generational type players. They win a rack of awards and accolades.
I mean, I don't want to sound biased, but I think Brunson should have been in the conversation. I think he should have been in the convo a long time ago. And now the last couple of weeks, they want to put his name in there, but he's been there a 2C because of him. And if you look up his numbers, 28, 29 a game, last month or so, 30, 37, 35. Like, this guy was the motor behind the Knicks. But do I see him winning? No. But I think they're so in love with the Giannis's and the Jokers and all that stuff.
The problem is that like late March and early April basketball don't really count. Like we've already decided everything by then. And sort of like every team is either getting ready to play in the playoffs or getting ready to go on vacation other than the play-in teams. Yeah. So I think that's going to be enough to get Brunson first team All-NBA. I think he'll probably get a first team All-NBA selection. But I think it was too late for not that he didn't have a great year, but it was all that like stuff that piled up after sort of the dust had already settled. Because we weren't thinking of the Knicks as a 2 seed until like last week, right? Like they were right in that 4 or 5 range for a big chunk of time. And then all of a sudden they ran off and did well without Randall. And I don't want to diss the guy. He had a great season. I think that I will say, like, stuff like that when they had against the Celtics, I don't take those things at face value at this time of the season because I just seen it too many times before.
Yeah. As we were talking right now, Sacramento's up by 9. So the Pelicans are going to get Warriors or Sacramento. Before this game started, Robin, who would you have, Sacramento or the Warriors?
I think I'll go Golden State. I had Golden State, That's probably
you sound more confident.
Yeah, you're mumbling, bro. You're mumbling.
That's because this Golden State team isn't the same team. So it's probably stupid. I probably knew I should have picked Sacramento, but when you're the Warriors and you've won as much as this core group of players has won, I can't pick against you in a situation like this. So I did have the Warriors, and the game is what first of all. In the NBA today, there's no such thing as a lead. You got to be up by like 30.
You're right. They're up a little.
And secondly, what are they up 6 or something? It's
a lot more basketball to go.
2 shots for Steph.
I think the Warriors before Denny goes next. I think the Warriors. It's like they got this Pat Mahomes thing where it's like as long as you got Steph Curry there, they got a chance. As long as you got Pat Mahomes there, they got a chance. So even though they're not a 10th seed right now, they could win this game, beat the Pelicans, and then go against the Thunder. And most would say, hey, listen, the Warriors could beat the Thunder. Like that. That's how just dynamic they are. But they're stuck in this 10th spot right now with Sacramento. And I mean, I think before the game started, I would have picked Sacramento. Maybe because I'm just a fan of want to see newer teams and younger talent in the playoffs, and this is the rematch from last year anyway. And I think they want some revenge from last year on top of that. But if the Warriors win this game, and if there's no Zion, I'll go with the Warriors. And now is a pick between them and OKC.
Yeah, the Pelicans are cooked product, unfortunately. I mean, they played a really good game, but that sucks. Zion clearly got hurt there, and then. Steve Kerr made a good point I saw earlier today. You forget the difference between these teams is not much. If you look at even just record-wise, it's not much. If you look at the 5th seed or the 4th seed, the Clippers, through the 10th seed, those teams are separated by a handful of games. Yeah. And we are in an era now where Denver looks like that one team we're sort of giving that nod to. Boston had a really good regular season. But in general, there's a lot of parity in the league. So the difference between Minnesota and OKC is razor thin. The difference between Phoenix and Minnesota is razor thin. The difference between the Warriors, and the Lakers is razor thin. All you can say that up and down the line, so it does make it a little harder to pick.
I mean, you saw in the East, aside from Boston, that then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 was like a game and a half, and they kept scrambling every day. But then you go ahead.
Yeah, Golden State just disappoints me because I'm looking at that roster and I'm just saying too many things happen at the same time. We obviously have Draymond. Then you have Clay and his diminishing play, and then you have Wiggins inconsistent. That even threw me off even more. So now you have just Curry just trying to grasp at straws. So now we're here talking about a play-in, and then we're moving forward from there. You mentioned something early too, which had me thinking, if I may. You mentioned something about no lead is safe in the NBA, right? Mm-hmm. Do you think that's because of the offensive prowess of the three-point shot, or do you think more teams, I think is the answer, more teams are actually playing bad offense when they're up 20? What say you?
No, I think it's the three. I think, you're just in a league where it comes down to a lot of times who's making or missing three. People talk about defense. How do you guard these guys? Everybody's shooting from 35 feet away. You're acting like
Robin. There are guys that shoot 40% from three, fair, right? But there are NBA players that do not shoot a certain percentage, and they're bricking shots. True or false?
Everybody shoots 40% from three on 10 threes a game from 30 feet away. I mean,
I gotta look at these numbers, man, because I think a lot of the games, I think it's bad offense too when they're up 20.
You go back and you look at the, let's say 2005. I'll just pick a random year, right? Not only have the number of threes shot up astronomically, the percentage of hits is higher. Mm-hmm. So you're taking 20 more a game per team, at least 30 more a game, and you're hitting them at a higher clip, and you're shooting them from further away. That's the answer. The three-pointer has broken the sport.
It's causation. It's causation too. Obviously, you're right. If the game offensively, follow my lead, if the game offensively is drive and kick, and they take away the concept of actually going into the paint to score, the three-point shot will increase because more open shots will happen on the perimeter. But in terms of when you're up 20 and 25, me and Randy have sat and watched games be thrown away, not because the other team was actually hitting shots and coming back from down by 30 and because the other team was hitting shots too. No, the other team was taking terrible offensive shots at terrible times. It was shot selection that was causing them to lose games. Not so for me, Randy, if I'm going crazy, or maybe it's a little bit of both, but to take it away from the offense where I'm seeing 20 up, you up 25, and these jump shot, turnover, jump shot, and then
we just saw it with Boston like a month ago when they played Atlanta back to back, and they were up by 20-25, and then all right, you can't keep the lead. You're taking bad shots.
That's why I'm fearful of Boston. That is why I'm fearful of Boston, because they may live and die by that perimeter play. They really don't have Jason posts a little bit, and maybe KP does post, but they're really wing. It's a wing offense, if you will. That's what scares me about Boston, because if you go up 25 and you're allowed to let a team creep in by just layups and defense and you keep shooting that three and it's not going in, I don't know, Robin. I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised if Miami takes Boston out again this year.
Oh, come on.
Every single year. People always say NBA doesn't matter until the playoffs. But then they discount what the Heat do in the playoffs every single season. They've done it 3 of the last 4 years. They've at least 3 of the last 4 years. They've either been to the finals or the Eastern Conference Finals. 2 of those times they were in the finals. 1 of those times they were in the Eastern Conference Finals. And they do it from the same slot a lot of the time.
So are you telling me you have Miami over Philly tomorrow?
Yes. With my money, I got Miami over Philly tomorrow.
So that means you want
money line.
But listen, like Robin said, Miami's whatever spot they're in now. But I think the culture. Having Jimmy, having Bam, having Coach Spo on this them is like you could never count them out. So like when I see like the Knicks is like, all right, who should we want, Philly or Miami? I'm like,
I'd want Philly.
who you.
If I'm the Knicks, I want Philly.
I'm saying regardless, it's gonna be a tough matchup regardless.
Oh no,
but like
it
Miami
sucked
is like
because it sucked for the Knicks because I don't believe in losing on purpose. Like that's spitting in the face of the basketball god. So I think the Knicks did the right thing by winning that game the other night, but they lost by winning that game because they put themselves in a spot where either opponent you'd rather see Indy than either of those opponents. And no disrespect to the pay, but Philly, for one, the silver lining for Philadelphia could be Joel Embiid can never make it through a season healthy, but because he missed so much of the season, he might actually be fresher for the playoffs than he's been in previous years. And then we've talked about Miami. So I would not want to see either of those teams, but if I had to pick between the two, I'd take Philly.
Randy,
go ahead.
Yeah, Randy, I was going to say, I see what Spoelstra's doing down there in Miami. I see what he's doing. See what he does? Randy, check this out. My bucket. Check this out, right? Last couple of years, you see what happens? Guys get injured. You know what he tells them? Don't even worry about it. Take your time. We're going to develop these new guys that are right behind you. And then when you come back during the playoffs, they're not going to be able to strategize on who do we defend because these are going to be just new. Who? Nikola Jovic. You got him starting now, okay? You got Tyler here who's been out, half the season? He's back. They're like, well, now we can. Then you got Jaime coming off the bench. Okay, he's not starting anymore. He was starting the beginning of the season. Okay, now it's just like, well, how do you strategize against players that we haven't seen interchange and interact with Bam and playoff Jimmy?
And that's the thing with Miami, bro. The thing with they always find this one or two guys that always tend to do their thing in the playoffs. Caleb Martin, Gabe Vincent, out of nowhere. All of a sudden, it's Jaime Hawkins. It's like, oh, there's always somebody brand new. Like, oh, who is this guy? But because they have the culture and Coach Bo behind them, they are effective. I'm not a Heat fan. I'm saying they are effective at the right time. So it's like, if it's Knicks Miami, all right, let's see what happens. If it's Knicks in Philly, all right, let's see what happens. I did see New York blow out Philly with Embiid on the court a few times. So they can't get they can get
you can run Embiid, right? Like you can run Embiid.
Yeah.
Embiid might not get the foul calls in the playoffs that he gets, but the thing with Miami is, one, you got Bam, so you can be a dog defensively because you can fly around, switch on everything. And he can do it on everything. So, yeah, you might be able to beat them on a second chance or something like that, or, with real size. But in general, they're going to be aggressive and feisty on defense. And the thing about playoff Jimmy plays so hard in the playoffs. I mean, I really think that's and I know that's an easy thing to say. He's playing not as hard in the regular season. But in order to be playoff Jimmy, you can't go like that over 82. Like, you just can't do it. Because you see Jimmy, I mean, you remember the image of him on the stanchion. Like that because that's what Jimmy does in the play. He is everywhere. Loose balls on the floor, breaking you down off the dribble, setting up other guys. And they bottle that in the playoffs. And when you have that two-headed monster of Jimmy and Bam and the role players that fit around him, and Tyler Herro's healthy this playoffs, he can give you 25, 30 on any given night. Caleb Martin's still on that team. They got guys who are going to hit these timely shots, and they got a coach is going to be prepared, where that's also a difference in the playoffs versus the regular season. You're seeing the same team every night. You're not in a road trip and then you're randomly seeing a team. You're not, passing through or anything like that. It's like, we're going to take away what you do best. Can you beat us when we take away what you do best? And Spoelstra is going to have his opponent schematically sized up.
Well, Randy, go ahead, Randy. Go ahead,
real quick. I just seen Ian Begley put out the schedule for Saturday. So they have Orlando Cavs at 1:00, Phoenix, Minnesota at 3:30, and the Knicks and number 7 at 6 p.m. all on ESPN. Lakers in Denver, nightcap 8:30 ABC. So the Knicks get the 6 p.m. spot on Saturday. So
I'm looking. And you mentioned, just to keep this going with Randy because he's going to love this. I look at the Knicks and I'm looking at what coaches would try to do to take away Jalen Brunson. And they have tried during the regular season. I've seen it. We've seen it. Randy's seen it. They've tried to put a big on him. It doesn't work. They tried to double him. That doesn't work. Shout out to Josh Hart and Hartenstein, guys who are now understanding the ability to flash into that paint and then not just stop, which was happening before. They're catching it and actually attacking the rim or making a quick pass. It's decisive. They know where the ball's going. So they're inviting that double team. They want it to happen. Please, double Jalen. So I'm thinking about Spoelstra. I'm thinking about these coaches, Doc Rivers, etc. And I'm thinking, okay, if you decide to double Jalen every possession, some possessions, he's going to figure it out. He's been doing it all season. And he's gonna toast you, Randy. I know you like that, right? You like that, Randy, right?
Yeah. Listen, I mean, they every team has tried to do what they can with Jalen. I think he's just an absolute beast, and he's gonna get his way. And you can't even say, well, let's see what he does in the playoffs. Last year, he destroyed the Cavs. He destroyed the Miami Heat. They didn't get it done, but I think this year is a whole new
first
mindset.
team.
Yeah, first team. It should be Joker, Tatum, Shea, Luka, and Brunson.
Those are the 5 players that in the NBA have been playing great all season.
The whole season. And Giannis played well, whatever. But matter of fact, speaking of Giannis, Robin, he may not even play the first couple games against Indiana. And the show we did last night before we found out, I told Dennis that if there's an upset to be had in the East, it would be Indiana over Milwaukee, whether Giannis plays or not. But now he's iffy for the first couple of games. Do you see Indiana taking down Milwaukee if Giannis does not play game 1 or game 2?
I think, I'm not even sure he's going to be back, game 3, 4. That calf
for the whole series.
I pulled my calf muscle running in Central Park 20 years ago. It's still not healed. It's still, like those soft tissue injuries in the back of the leg are tough, and they get re-aggravated really easily. I just don't know if he's going to be back for this series at all, especially like when they're already saying the first couple of games that I think you're probably seeing him 5 or 6, and by that point they might already be. This Bucks thing might blow up in everybody's face. I mean, because it was done to. I mean, the 2 teams with the ticking clock on them are Milwaukee in the East and Phoenix in the West, right? Like Milwaukee in the East, you brought Dame in, but all right, here you are. What do you do, with the future if it doesn't work out right now? And in the West, obviously, the Suns put all the chips in the middle of the table for right now with no flexibility to get better later. And if they don't beat the Timberwolves in the first round, scary hours.
That's scary hours.
Yeah.
Scary hours for a team without the genius. The NBA whisperer. See, Randy, I told you the genius. I said Phoenix Suns. They asked KD early in the season about the team, and he said they should be fine. And I said chemistry, injuries matter further down the line. And now look at us.
If that's the case, if Giannis is out, who's the biggest threat to Boston in the East? Is it New York?
Miami.
Is it Miami?
I've been telling you, yes, it's Miami. It's the Miami Heat.
I don't want
Boston last year.
I want Miami to get out of here. I want Miami to get out of here.
You clearly don't believe in New York Knicks. You clearly don't believe in the New York Knicks.
Chicago, give me Atlanta.
No, I do believe in the Miami Heat. I mean, I don't know. Like, it's like people can't accept what they've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Like who went to the finals against the Lakers in 2020? Miami Heat. Who played the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals a couple years ago? What was that? A 7-game series? The Miami Heat. Who beat the Boston Celtics in a series last season? The Miami Heat.
We're going to have this on tape because we're going to have to eat our words, Robin. If the Miami Heat get to the final, beat Boston, and represent the NBA the NBA Finals East against Denver, that would be the craziest conversation.
I mean, who beat the 1 seed last year? Miami Heat. I mean, listen, but that shows how great they are. So it's like, I don't want them to. I want them nowhere near my Knicks. I want the Knicks to have, not saying the easiest road, but I know there'll be some tough matchups. But I mean, as far as an upset, We both did say Indiana. I think Dennis did say Orlando over the Cavaliers. I think you mentioned that last night too. And Dallas over the Clippers. I think that was the one out west he would go with. Do you see any potential upsets in your mind, Robin?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really look at those as much of upsets, to be honest with you. I would say, or the Cavs feel primed to lose Flame out again, and then Donovan Mitchell asking for a trade, or not asking for a trade, but not signing an extension, therefore asking for a trade in a sense. I think that's a highly likely scenario this summer. I also think, to me, the Clippers and the Mavericks, that's a coin flip series. I don't know how it's handicapped, but it can't be too much in one direction. Look, if Luka and Kyrie are going, that's probably the most fascinating series on both sides because of just what those two are capable of and what we know Kawhi is capable of. So you're going to get down to crunch time, and there's not going to be like a question in your mind. You got proven killers.
Yeah, that'd be the question, Robin. I'm sitting back thinking about that Clippers Dallas series, and I'm looking at Ty Lue. Like you got these are defenders here. You got Paul George, you got Kawhi.
Mm-hmm.
You can't stop Luka and Kyrie, baby. You can't stop Luka and Kyrie just by yourselves defensively. All right, we got Westbrook though. We got Westbrook. Who else we got? Norman Powell. We got Norman Powell, right? Norman Powell. Okay. We have no one else that could solve this equation or this riddle of this dynamic duo.
But you remember, Luka took out the same Clipper team to a degree. I think 3 years ago, the one series when they came back with fans post pandemic, they took out the Clippers on their road to the conference finals. So they've been there. Do I believe in the Clippers right now? Listen, I'm not gonna go against Kyrie. That's my guy. I love Kyrie, but Luka's a bad man. Do they have any answers? I'm gonna say no. But that can go 7. I think out of all the series, that can go 7. I would have said Milwaukee and Indiana 7 if Giannis was healthy, but I don't know about that now.
Yeah, not at this point.
The Minnesota Phoenix is up in the air because I think I want Minnesota because they're again a young team. I want Ant-Man and Towns in that spot, but Durant and Booker and Beal is like, come on, man, like we got to get something going because if you don't get past round 1 this year, talk about blowing things up like the Cavs and all that. What do you do with Phoenix going forward?
There's something they can do. It's not possible.
Yeah, they're running back. They got to run it back.
Yeah, there's nothing they can do because they just signed Grayson Allen because he's the only player. He's the best player they could sign because he was already on their team. They have no draft picks to trade. They have no cap space to use. They're in every penalty of the cap, so they can't even go use the exceptions to go add. The only players they'll be able to add are veteran minimum players in the offseason. There's just no way for them to improve. That's why what's interesting is those Nets picks, like what the Nets management does with those picks. Because you talk about a guy like Donovan Mitchell, those are the things that could facilitate a move like that. But do you do that and then say, we're going to have a free cap space, like a complete clear books next summer when Ben Simmons is off the books? So do we trade for Donovan Mitchell and then sign somebody next summer? And that's the blueprint because Bridges is on a team-friendly contract at just $20 million a year. Or do you sit there and say, oh, wait a second, those Suns picks might be the number 1 pick in the draft in those various years?
Yeah. As of right now, Sacramento is up 13, quarter number 2, so a lot more to go. What I want to say, so as of right now, Robin, I know the full playoffs did not start yet, but when you were doing your prediction and stuff, who would you have in the conference finals for both sides?
I'll say Miami and Boston in the East.
Come on,
and in the West, let's go Denver and Dallas.
Wow. Wow. Dallas. Batman and Robin, man. A lot of people.
The Mavericks going to beat the Clippers, and then they got to dethrone, let's say OKC advances. So they'll take out OKC in round 2.
That is, I mean, okay, Clippers one thing. That OKC matchup is going to be delicious. That's gonna be delicious. I don't.
OKC's never been there before. You know,
like you're right. You're right.
Like in the NBA playoffs, when does that happen? When does that happen? The team that's never been there before. I mean, Sacramento was OKC last year, not number one, but
Correct.
in a sense, the same thing. No.
You be the OKC of what when they went with the Young Bulls with Westbrook.
I would have said Sacramento. Minnesota is this year's Sacramento.
Yeah,
I would say that.
But Minnesota's at least they have been there a couple times in recent past. Like
you're right.
Around they put their toes in the water.
Yeah, they did. Damn, I don't want Miami. I don't want. I've been saying. Then he could say it. I've been saying New York and Boston for the conference finals. Even before
everybody was saying it. Everybody before saying it. He did say it. Now I thought he was reaching early on in the season. I'll be honest. I told him to his face, "You're reaching. You're drinking too much. Drinking too much juice." And during the season,
I was saying that before the trade of OG even happened. I was saying when they had RJ and quickly too. I was saying conference finals, Knicks and Boston. But you know, we're almost there. We'll see what happens. Before I let you go, Rob, and then want to bring up. So they announced the USA team. I'm not sure if Denny knows the roster. Do you know Denny or fan?
I took a look at it. I took a look at it earlier.
All right, so we got LeBron, Curry, Durant, Embiid, Tatum, Booker, Drew Holiday, Ant Davis, Ant-Man, Bam Adebayo, and Tyrese Halliburton as your USA team being officially announced. So obviously most are going to say, well, where's this guy? Where's this guy? I get it. Are you in agreement with this Avengers lineup for the USA team this summer?
Mostly. Look, I mean, I don't think you can guarantee a win no matter who's suiting up, but you also have to remember in FIBA, it's not quite 1-to-1 as the NBA. So I've seen people be like, where's Jalen Brunson? Tyrese Halliburton played better than Jalen Brunson on that team last summer. Because the thing about Jalen Brunson is he's like the center of the universe for an offense. That's where he works best. And I don't know if that's where you want him when he's playing alongside these other guys. Halliburton played better. Also, Drew Holiday. If you remember the Olympics, when the last time we won the gold, it wasn't until he came and took the starting point guard spot from Dame that team turned around. So Drew Holiday played really well in FIBA rules. So those are selections that I think have FIBA-specific history woven into them. Obviously, we know LeBron and Curry are going to play well together. Their games are just meant that way. Kevin Durant is the ultimate complementary player. He can play off of anybody, and that's, we've seen him do damage. So, I like the roster a lot. But even to go further on that, like Joel Embiid's not – I mean, I know he'll probably start, but I would like Davis and Adebayo more as bigs over there than Joel Embiid. Also, stylistically, but those teams are good. You have to watch out for them. There's no easy wins in international competition, and there is a little bit of a difference in the way that it's played, it's officiated, and things like that, and the chemistry of a team when you're putting together a bunch of stars, because there are so many guys who are very good when it's their team, and it's a little harder for them to play when it's not their team, just because of the style of play that they usually use with the ball in their hands.
Yeah, USA coming for RJ Barrett and Shea Gilgeous and Team Canada. Denny Blanc, go ahead.
Listen.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah, they were good.
Canada was real good, and that's, you look at that team, you look at the other teams that are going to be playing against US, and you say to yourself, what in the world? This team has to be loaded to even, obviously it's not a situation where they're not going to be blowing teams out by 50. At this point, they're going to be trying to make sure that they win, specifically in general. Look at the team roster. You have players that do very well with drive and kick.
Yeah.
LeBron James, Steph, KD, Devin Booker, Jason Tatum. Now, Kawhi Leonard, last roster spot? Okay, I get it. But that could have easily went to Brunson, could have, but they already got enough guards, so they should win I think they have enough to win, but it's going to be interesting to see what the other teams bring to the table.
So hold on, they gave Kawhi the last spot.
They're thinking about it. Looks like if not confirmed.
I think it was reported that he's getting the last spot. Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I'm just like, I could have went to. I mean, I definitely could have went to Jalen.
Listen, they say Brunson. Where's Kyrie?
Kyrie wasn't going to make it. I already knew Kyrie wasn't going to make it.
Why not?
How clean is everyone's backgrounds?
Oh, come on, man. We're talking about basketball here, man.
And who's putting together the team? Use your brain. Use your brain.
LeBron.
Use your brain. Use your brain. Come on. It's a matter of the team and how they're gonna have chemistry going forward. So this is exactly who makes sense for everybody on this roster. Right. It makes sense for USA.
Sacramento up 14. I know Robin got to go. Listen, man, we love you, man. We really appreciate you coming on. At Robin Lundberg on Twitter, X. I know you got some podcasts going on your own YouTube channel. Go ahead and plug that real quick.
Yeah, the Robin Lundberg YouTube. Hit it up. Find me. The link tree's off of my Twitter account here. X gonna give it to you. Search my name, you'll find me. But make sure you like and subscribe. I'm trying to build up that YouTube audience for sure.
Same here.
I'm on all the other socials. My shorts be kicking ass, man. They be. Oh, and you're into the wrestling too, Randy.
Yeah.
The Needle Wrestling Podcast, and I'm doing Friday Night SmackDowns with Denise Salcedo. So lots popping in that space.
You know, it's funny. I tried to get her like 2 years ago. We had a brief convo. We just never really connected. But she's someone I've been trying to get on for a minute. But I think circling back with me and Dennis, like just utilizing the YouTube more, and we don't do live. So my Wi-Fi was always tripping for the longest time. I bought some new stuff. I'm saying, you know what? NBA playoffs, we got to start doing live reaction. People love that shit. So I'm like, boom, right after the game, let's talk about it half hour and then be done with it.
Yeah, and then it's already up. You don't have to, if you
no editing, no nothing, no download. I'm like, I hang out with you. I'm done.
Well, that's the reason I started doing the lives. To be honest with you, and it does help when it's around things you can react to real things. But
yeah,
I started that show. It was very organic because of stuff that had happened to me professionally. Yeah. And I just fired up the mic and went. And I have so much experience doing live radio, right? So that's the closest thing to live radio that you can just sort of do yourself. So it felt like a natural platform to me, and it's a way to be authentic. Now I want to get edited videos and get those all rolling and all that as well. But I thought that was the way to like say hello to that audience and let them really know me.
Yeah. Listen, man. We don't care if it's 1 person, 2, 100, whatever. You're gonna find out who's gonna fuck with you and support you, and then that audience will grow as time goes on. So, I mean,
you want to know a cheat code? Talk about Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark, LeBron, the Cowboys.
Right now, no, nobody else. Right now, Caitlin Clark. Just start every video with. You can do this. Caitlin Clark NBA playoff.
Last night we did it too. During the draft, we spoke about it, but we had a little bump in the viewership. But yeah, she's gonna be tremendous and amazing. Listen, they already sold out of her jerseys on Fanatic, so that kind of tells you the impact she's having so far.
Well, you saw the WNBA draft more than quadrupled its previous high as a rating, right?
Yeah.
Like previous high was 600,000 viewers. They did 2.5 million.
I wonder why. Right?
No, there's things that drive me crazy, right? And I talked about this on my show, so there's a quick plug in a way, right? Two things. One, there was like people like, why is Caitlin Clark on Saturday Night Live and not South Carolina? I'm like, 1, she's about to be the number 1 pick in the WNBA draft, which is in New York. 2, she's the one everybody cares about.
Exactly.
Now, no offense to them, South Carolina deserves to win. Great team. No one's taking that away. And then like the thing about the pay in the WNBA, it's like, no, this is not complicated. The revenue is not to the level that it is at the NBA. It's far below. There's half as many games. But guess what? The media rights deal that they sign now is going to be a lot bigger because of Caitlin Clark. I mean, there are others involved. It's not just Caitlin Clark, but it's mostly Caitlin Clark. And then that media rights deal is going to skyrocket, which is going to give a bigger pie to divide, and the ladies are going to get paid more, which is what we all want to see. But people are acting like they have no idea of basic math and economics because they saw those numbers for the first time, and it's the first time they ever watched the WNBA draft.
Nah, listen, I think I saw 2.5 million tuned in. Like you saw it from March Madness, the national
4
championship.
million more people watched the women's championship than the men's.
Yeah, 18 million people saw that game, Robin. 18 million.
No, Caitlin Clark's first game will wipe an NBA playoff game. Whatever one is on that night, it will wipe. I saw people talking about taking the NHL off. Well, duh, you take the NHL off because that they're
of course.
They're cooked.
I told Dennis last time before I let you go, the Indiana Fever had one national TV game last year. Yeah. They're getting 36 this year, bro.
Which is like
the whole season. ABC, CBS, TNT, all that, NBTV. Every game is going to be on national TV for her. And I don't blame them. They're smart. They're not dumb.
You think I'm joking? The last 3 shows I did, Caitlin Clark.
Getting that algorithm.
Guess what are my top? If you look at the top 5 most viewed videos, I have
Caitlin Clark.
Top 5 like Caitlin Clark.
Swimming through that content cheat code. Swim through it, baby. Swim through it, baby. You got to. I dig it.
I got experience, do I know how, like I've been around the block. I know when something's hot.
You got to swim through it. Yep.
We're going to do it tomorrow. Caitlin Clark is watching NBA playoffs, Philly beats man. Robert Lundberg at the Robert Lundberg, the Robert Lundberg Show on YouTube. Go ahead, check him out. We love you, bro. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
All right. Thanks a lot, Rob.
Take it easy. Well, that was fun, Danny Blanco. It's 50-40 Sacramento. So that's what we got right now. We'll probably rock out until the first half is over. Got maybe 3 minutes to go. But yeah, always fun chopping up with Robin. Listen, like he mentioned, those who are still watching or maybe tap in later on, we're trying to grow this show via Twitter, YouTube. If you guys get any comments or feedback or questions, I don't care if it's one person or two, put it in the chat. Hit the subscribe button, like all that good stuff, because we're gonna rock out with you and we're gonna give you the real deal as much as we can during the playoffs. I know we both got real lives and jobs, but I think this week I'm trying to get some more people to come on either during the games or following the games. A couple guys that we know that cover the sport of the NBA, probably some females too. So I'm working on that. But yeah, tap in. It's in the Game podcast. Denny Blanco, Randy Cruz. Go ahead, check it out. Any last words until this first half ends between Sacramento and the Warriors? Denny Blanco.
Oh man,
do you like doing it live? Do you like doing it just put it on and we go?
Why not? Get it out the way, get it situated. You know what I mean? Mistakes will be made, but who cares? But yeah, no, I'm all with that. At this point, we were talking about Sacramento. I pray that Golden State wins, because if they win, they have to play one more game, don't they?
They will play the Pelicans.
Pelicans, yeah. So
which means they would win that game, and then they get the OKC. Thunder.
Yeah. So it's going to be. I see Draymond clotheslining a couple of people. And possibly positioning his team to get into the first round, get bounced out the first round of the playoffs. We'll see.
But yeah, so just to recap with Robin, he has Boston and Miami in the Eastern Conference Finals rematch. He has Dallas and the Denver Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals. Spoke about the USA team, who should have made it. I think he's fine with it. But always good chopping up with him. I think I want Sacramento. I think that'll be something different. Obviously, if it is them, I think they will beat New Orleans. If there's no Zion to go, obviously, if Zion is to go, I would love to see Zion in an actual playoff format. But I mean, yeah, like seeing the Lakers win today, they get Denver. I'm hoping it's a competitive series, maybe 6. I don't know, but Just do not give me a sweep. Do not. I don't want any sweeps in these playoffs.
All right, you said it.
You might get it, but please just come on, man. Just go out there, get one game. Get one game.
He said just get one game.
Get one game, y'all.
Just get one game and then just
I'm a
take
basketball
your ass
fan.
on vacation. That's
Yeah,
what you're
because
saying.
it's like, oh, if the Cavaliers beat the Magic in 4, all right, now I gotta wait 2 weeks to play. Like, nah, I want to see you.
Man,
Let's
listen.
go. Let's go.
I want, unfortunately, I don't want times wasted. I want guys that want to be home. So if
Yeah.
you got to sweep some folks, sweep them out the way, so we can get to the ring quicker. That's all that is. You think the Joker wants to wait? The guy that wants to start his vacation as soon as possible. You think he wants to wait on teams? No,
Bro, your man won the title last year. He didn't want to celebrate. He just want to go home. He want to go chill with the horses. Like, yo, man, parade is like, nah, man, I'm chilling, man. I want to go back home.
That's it. He wants to get to it early, so I see him trying to win every single game possible. Straight to the 16. Straight to the 16. Give me my ring and I'm out of here.
And defending champions will start that quest for repeat on Saturday. I saw the schedule. We mentioned they're on Saturday. The Knicks are on Saturday. So I'll be at the Garden on Saturday for Saturday night at the Garden. That's gonna be bro. If it's, Philly or Miami, but if it's the Miami Heat, bro, the crowd is gonna be going crazy. Game 1. I know game 1 and 2, but game 1.
So wow. Let me just say Miami's gonna win.
Sacramento's up 8, by the way.
Let me just say Miami's gonna win. Jimmy's gonna get a whole lot of OG. Jimmy's gonna get a whole lot of OG. And then when I say Randy, OG don't look like a guy who takes plays off. He don't look like a guy who is intimidated very easily.
No. And OG is so smooth. Like, he just like, it's like he is like your Kawhi, because Kawhi doesn't have any facial expressions, doesn't show if he's upset, if he's happy. OG is like, all right, I'm gonna go in there, get my clothes on, suit up, play the game, get dressed, and be out. Like, I'm doing I'm clocking in, clocking out, do my thing, get out. Nothing else, bro.
Shout out to Mills. Shout out to Mills Media. She had a video she created of all.
I saw that too. Yeah,
man, OG is pushing centers. He's pushing and being straight to his face. And I'm reading. I'm great with reading what people say. I'm a great lip reader. Told boy, what the fuck you gonna do? See, OG.
Yeah.
He told us straight up without even laughing. It's like, shut up. So I pushed you. So what? What are you gonna do?
Exactly.
No.
What's up? Do something.
Do something. I said,
OG with that smoky.
I said, what's going on? OG, what's going on? He push. He's like,
yeah. Like, fam, what you doing? It was OG, bro.
Push do it. He's got to look like. You want some bees again? Like, yo, bro, what's going on?
That's crazy. Looking like gonna be halftime. Sacramento's almost made that. Sacramento up 4. I know we'll touch base tomorrow to see who actually wins this game. Tomorrow probably we're gonna be on for those. First of all, we got 440 people that actually chimed. So the way they do it now, they don't show you how many are actually watching live. They show you how many people actually tapped in and saw whatever. So we're at the 440 mark. So that's pretty impressive. Thank you guys for tapping in. I want to get more fan engagement. Your comments, your questions. Don't be afraid. You guys are looking like I don't know these guys, but we talk basketball. But just don't be afraid to get a question in. So yeah,
or
right
question,
around
question why Robin thinks Miami's gonna crack, gonna be the representing. He hurt your soul when he said that too. when he said
Yeah.
Miami, he hurt your soul, and that's supposed to be your man too. See,
Yeah, I mean, listen, at the same time, he's being realistic. So when we go on tomorrow around 10 o'clock, we're gonna find out if it's Philly or Miami against the Knicks. You mentioned Millie is gonna come on. As of right now, she's coming on tomorrow. So that'll be dope. Trying to get some more people for either tomorrow, Thursday, or Friday, because once it's tip ball, and again, once the playoffs start, depending on how schedules, we come back in and do a recap. We're gonna do this as much as we can. So we really appreciate if you guys hit the subscribe button, like, give the comments, YouTube, Twitter, X, all that good stuff. Follow my man, Sir Denny Blanco, on Twitter, IG, TikTok, myself, Randy J. Cruz, RENDY, letter J C R U Z on TikTok, IG, and Twitter. It's in the Game podcast from myself and Denny Blanco. Back tomorrow night, NBA playoffs. We out.
it's in the game. See you tomorrow. You heard?
Yes, sir.